Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Antonia Ellis, aka the AK Ellis, and let's get into a little mini series that I would like to call Purposeful Parenting. Clap it up. Yeah, clap it up. So it's not going to be anything too heavy. I'm not going to lecture you on anything. Y'all already know it's chill, cozy vibes over here every time. I have some laundry to fold. I have just been, again, y'all know my favorite mode is reflection. I've been reflecting on certain practices and things that I've been doing within my home with my kids, things that me and my husband have been trying to incorporate into our daily practices, what I feel like has been working, what I feel like we still need to work on, and things that I'm so glad we eliminated. So with that being said, let's get right into it. If you're a parent who just strives to be better every single day, you're in the right place. Bottom line, if every day when you wake up, you're like, I could have did this so much better, or damn, did I make the right choice when I responded that way, or what can I be doing better for myself so that it shows within my children, you are in the right place. Parenting is like a mirror, at least for me, it's like a mirror. Whenever you look at your kids, usually your biggest flaws show so loudly and clearly right in front of you within your kids. And there's a couple of things where I was like, okay, I want my kids to read, but I'm not picking up books for myself. I want my kids to be more honest, but I'm lying to them sometimes, or I'm covering parts of the truth because I think it may be a little too hard to digest. They're kids, they're people. I'm not saying that, they need to know all the details and the nitty gritty to certain things, but if you want an honest child, you need to be an honest adult. If you want a studious child, you need to be a studious adult. And we're going to kind of remove some labels today, as in mom, dad, parent, child, because we're all just talking about people right here. And I feel like when we take away a couple of labels, it kind of makes things a little easier to digest. But this first episode, we're going to center it around discipline. And like I said, I got laundry to fold. So we're going to get this on and popping. Let's talk about discipline for a second. What does the word discipline mean to you? Take a second, think about it. Discipline to me is holding an expectation and living up to it. Now, if you would have asked me, what does discipline mean to me maybe 10 years ago, I probably would have told you it means getting in trouble. And sometimes discipline does mean getting in trouble. But when you only think about it like that, you have a really narrow perspective on what discipline truly is. So a habit that I've picked up this new year is going to the gym. Now, I've already had the habit of moving my body daily, but it was only at home. So I was really into my home workouts, really into my at-home Pilates, but going to the gym has definitely put me out of my comfort zone. It has challenged me to try new things, especially in front of people that I don't really know. I'm a shy girl. Like, I know a lot of studies say, you shouldn't be referring to your kids as shy kids. I've seen that a few times, or just labeling kids in general. I'm an adult. I'm a shy adult. I'm a shy girly. Like, that's just me. Yes, when I open up and I warm up, I'm definitely an open book, but off rip, I'm shy, and going to new places, especially by myself, can be nerve-wracking. And I am so glad that my husband is a little opposite. He's like, go try the new thing, like go. And I love it. I love him for that, because he pushes me out of my comfort zone daily, even when I don't like it. Because trust, I do not be liking it. I don't like it. How can I expect for my kids to go out into new environments and be excited about it, but whenever it's time for me to go to a new cycling class, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. No. So Going to the gym has shown me a lot about self-discipline within myself. I'm trying to build the habit, and not even trying, I'm building the habit of going every single day. Today, we're having like a snowstorm. And I'm doing quotes because y'all know I grew up in Boston. This ain't no snowstorm, honey, okay? But it's colder outside, it's snowing, and the gym is closed today. We seen the sign yesterday when we went. I was like, no gym. Like literally that's how I felt, because I have built this habit of going to the gym. And whenever I don't get to, you know, scratch that itch, it's kind of annoying. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to find an alternative. I have some at-home workout stuff I can do. I can get back on my Pilates just for today and make up for tomorrow at the gym if they're open, or Monday if they're open, or Tuesday, you know? I don't need to be so bummed to the point where, oh, it ruins my mood. It throws me off track, and it makes me not want to reach my goals. And goals are ever flowing. They're ever growing. So yeah, I could say, you know, it's a bummer that I didn't get to gym today. It definitely is. But as far as it ruining my mood, ruining my attitude, no way. No way, not happening. So that is something that I had to realize, and I've noticed that it has made, and I say both of my kids, just be more open to doing certain things, more open to change, more willing to be in new environments without me and my husband being present, and without each other being present. Y'all know I have 2 kids. They heavily rely on each other. They're both Tauruses. Their birthdays are 10 days apart, but they are 5 years apart in age. But they rely on each other for comfort, from familiarity, which is not something that I grew up with. I grew up as an only child, so I don't know that level of codependency. But I do want them to remain as individuals, signing them up for individual sports and blah, 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 blah. Because you need that opportunity to be by yourself and find your own personality. Because when you're home, you're around each other all the time. You know, whenever we're out, I want you to be out. I want you to be free. I want you to do your thing. And know that when you come home, your teammate will be there supporting you and waiting for you. And so going to the gym has been my form of discipline that I'm showing my kids that I'm showing up for me. That's my first take on discipline. Okay. Second part, discipline again. Let's talk about when your kids do something wrong and you're not in a good freaking mood. You don't want to deal with the little white lies. You don't want to deal with the place and blame. He said, she said, right? You've had a long day at work. You've had a long day at wherever the heck, whatever you do, you've had a long day. Just being a parent, you had a long day. Before you react, let's hope your children listen to you enough when you tell them, I need a minute. Leave, get out. I need a second. Put that boundary up. Because if they stay around whenever your mood is going up, your temper is rising, you're going to explode on them. And all you're going to be doing is apologizing for it later. At least I hope so. Every day is not going to be perfect. There are going to be some days where you explode. And whenever you do, it's okay. Go back later on and apologize. I did not mean to respond to you in that way. My bad. I should have left, or I should have told y'all, or I should have told you to leave and give me a minute. Clear it up. That's it. Not only is this going to show your kids that you could be apologetic to them, but it's also going to show them that you make mistakes, just like they make mistakes. It's all of our first time on earth. Most of the experiences that we're experiencing are our first time experiencing them. Maybe second, maybe third for the more seasoned parents out there. But it doesn't make it any less irritating, okay? Kids can be nerve-wracking, agitating little ankle biters. But I'm sure we get on their nerves too. Take a second whenever this stuff is going on. Oh, so-and-so bit me, so-and-so punched me. So if you feel your temperature rising, clear the room, clear the space. If you're in a good enough mindset to where you can respond, cool, let's deal with it. Okay, boom, tell me your side. Tell me your side. Both of y'all separate. Or tell me, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you react that way? And until you can tell me why, you need to go and think about it. Because why did you do that? Because if I explode on you, child of mine, I can tell you why. I exploded on you because I had a long day, and that has nothing to do with you. So I apologize. So tell me why you chose to draw on the wall today. Tell me why you decided to slap Bebe in the face at school today. And it's not about placing blame. It's just about tell me what the reasoning was. And we can flip it back and put it on you. You're in control of your own actions. Because if mommy makes a mistake, I'm in control of my own actions. Yeah, I could tell you, oh, I burnt my lunch today, so I was in a bad mood, and I just put it all on you. And that's not right. Bebe may have told you that you was ugly and your shoes didn't match your outfit. That pissed you off. But Bebe don't have no control over you. You have self-control. It's conversational. We're not yelling when our kids are already yelling at each other or their emotions are through the roof. Okay? When the emotions are through the roof and you want to yell over them, nobody is hearing each other and it's too much freaking noise. Y'all, oh my gosh. One thing I can't handle growing up as an only child is too much noise. I can't do it. I can't. I'm not yelling over people. Go have your feelings alone and come on back, or I'll come to you when I feel like you've calmed down, or I'll ask you, I'll follow up. Something else. We're not about to sit here and have a screaming match. No. Something that my husband helps me out with is the going back and forth. I know everybody doesn't have the privilege of a 2-parent household. I am so lucky and blessed to have that and to be able to give that to my kids, because having that relief is so nice. Again, up with the discipline factor. If one of us is through the roof, the other one can quickly come in and take over. We are here to love on our kids, to protect our kids from harm's way, but also sometimes to protect them from our wrath when it's getting a little too crazy, okay? Because again, like I said, it's never going to be perfect. There are going to be days where it's crazy. But when you have that balance in the house, when you have that other adult who knows how things can go and how it can get, and they come in and they intervene when they know you need some freaking intervention, it still is beneficial. And even when my husband intervenes, even when I intervene, whenever the temperature is getting too hot, we still make sure that we follow up later on with I really wasn't trying to respond to you that way, or I was getting frustrated because. Explain yourself to your kids. When they do something wrong, you're going to want them to explain themselves to you. Discipline from both ends. Do not expect your baby to do something that you're not doing. My God, today. Don't do it. Because not only are they not going to do it, they're not going to know how to do it. You don't model that behavior. When mistakes happen, you don't apologize. So how the heck do you expect them to apologize to their baby brother when they push them off the bed? How do you expect them to understand what an accident really is when you don't show them what a mistake is? When you don't explain to them what your mistake was when they weren't around? Whenever I pick up my oldest from school, I'm like, how was your day? She would tell me a little bit and I'm like, dang, you ain't gonna ask me about my day? She'd be like, how was your day? Like, come on, let's chat about it. I'll tell her about my day. Oh, I did this, I did that. And oh my gosh, I dropped a plate of rice and the glass got everywhere. Oh my gosh, it was a mess and I had to clean it up. And she's all interested. Ooh, did you hurt yourself? Did you hurt the baby? Ooh, did you tell daddy? You know, like, explain yourself, explain your frustrations. You don't have to go into super deep dive detail that you had this shitty day at work because you got fired. Or you had a shitty day at work because your coworker talking shit about you. You ain't got to do all that. Scratch the surface, okay? And just tell them enough to keep it human-like, okay? Okay. Discipline number 3. We talked about the purposeful part of discipline as far as bad behavior is concerned. I want to touch on another point with that discipline part. For my educators, for my teachers, for my parents whose kids misbehave at school, I want you to think about ways where you show discipline and ways where you show other adults respect in a way that your children see you do that. Usually when a kid is acting up at school, whether it's, I don't know, stealing or lying, fighting, misbehaving, they're mirroring the behavior that they see at home. Even if it's late at night and you think your kids don't hear you and your spouse, you and your partner, you and your sister, you and your parents, your own stinking parents arguing or having inappropriate conversation, aggressive conversation, whatever the case may be. And I get it, this can really be a sensitive topic. You really need to think about your behavior is showing up in your kids whenever you're not around. For example, I was in I guess you can call it like a abusive type relationship whenever my daughter was super little. And whenever I got with my husband, he is so affectionate. And it took her a long time to decipher the difference between us showing affection to each other and her not being afraid that he was hurting me. Mind you, I was in that relationship from the time she was born until 1.5. You think that your kids aren't paying attention. You think that your kids aren't feeding off of your energy and your behaviors. And I'm here to tell you, they are. And it takes time to break those habits. And as long as you're giving it your all every day to retrain them and get their brains out of that fight or flight mode, that's what matters. I ain't telling you to leave your situation. I ain't getting all up in your business. All I'm saying is the moments when you think your kids are not paying attention and you think they're not watching, they definitely are. When you feel as though you're putting on a mask and they don't see or feel the way that you're feeling, they definitely can. For my moms out there, you bear these children in your womb. They are the only ones who know you from the inside out. They will forever be connected to you for as long as you are on this God-green earth. So let's act like it. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, let's get into my favorite topic, academics, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. So if you want to raise intelligent kids, you need to strive for intelligence yourself. You don't need to have 11 degrees to be qualified to support your child as they go through the education system. All you need to do is show that you're interested, sit with them while they work, and go and do your own work. Go and do your own personal growth in whatever area you feel that's necessary. You can't raise readers without reading your damn self. Okay? Bottom line, everybody needs to read, period. When you show them the discipline, what discipline and commitment looks like to anything, whether you are disciplined and committed to being a good parent, you are disciplined and committed to being a good worker, you are disciplined and committed to giving them and providing them cool, clean, and healthy foods, show them what discipline and commitment look like, and they will show you what it looks like for them in the little areas that they have going on in their lives. But when it comes to reading, when it comes to picking up that book, sitting and reading it, you need to model that behavior. You really do. Like, I'm so serious. Y'all aren't reading, and it shows because your babies aren't reading. And scrolling does not count as reading, and listening to audibles and freaking, in podcasts and watching YouTube videos doesn't count. I seen a video on Instagram where it was like, y'all have not read from the book of Deuteronomy and Thessalonians, and you haven't had to read any book from the Old Testament in front of a congregation. Church numbers are down. Hell, I don't even go to church. I only go to church when I'm in town with my parents. So my kids don't have that experience either. But come on now, let's mimic those experiences elsewhere. We can read at home. Books are books. Parents, find you a book that interests you. If you watch my last video, I was sharing how I'm reading like a mystery. Super out of my range, out of my comfort zone, but it's challenging me to read different genres. And that challenge is making me want to keep picking up the book until I finish it, whatever day that may be. If you want to raise readers, you need to be readers. If you want to raise hard workers, you need to be a hard worker. If you want to raise honest children, you need to be an honest adult. Whatever you want for your kids to mirror, that's the stuff that you need to be exuding every single day, even on the hard days. Even on the hard days. No, you don't always want to respond in the best way. No, you don't always want to eat the healthiest foods. No, you don't always want to go to the gym. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. But that is what discipline is about. Discipline is not about punishment. Discipline is about showing up when you don't want to. So let's start by kind of retraining our own brains as adults as far as what discipline means to us. And I'm pretty sure whenever we start to think about disciplining our children, we can slow down, take a breath, and talk them through it rather than getting the daggone shoe and going at it. And I'm not trying to tell y'all what to do with y'all kids, because there are some days where I pick up the shoe, okay? I'm not perfect by any means. Some days require that. Some moments require that. But when it's all said and done, follow up with your babies. Follow up when you have regulated. Follow up when they have regulated. And let's talk about it. I want you to know where I'm coming from as parent, and I want to know where you are coming from as child. Let's talk about it. Before I go, I want to end off with this quick little story. Me and one of my best friends, we were on the phone yesterday, and she was telling me how she was talking to another mom, and the mom was saying how gentle parenting is not for her. She's been trying to find a category to kind of fit herself in. But something that she has realized, she has kids from varying age groups, I think from like 2 to 13. And she was like, something that she finds most important is talking about her biggest fears with her kids, whether it's a biggest fear for herself or a biggest fear that she is afraid that her kids will do. And just talking about it, either talking about it with her kids, just talking about it out loud. And when I heard that, I automatically was like, me and my husband were having a conversation in the car the other day, and we were talking about like my abortion experiences, and do the kids know what an abortion is yet? No, but it's my truth. I live in it, and whenever they want to know about it, I will be more than willing to share, because it was a real life event that happened. And I would say that shaped me or whatever, but I'm not even going to take it there, because every experience and every event contributes to who we are today. So, but he was like, if that were to ever happen to our oldest, and she were under 21, as I was 17 when I was pregnant for the first time. And he was like, if that were to ever happen to her, I would pay for however she chose to handle that. And I would nurse her back to health. And I would send her back out into the world until she got it right. And I 1,000,000% support that decision. But what made me feel even better was that we were having that conversation in the car when we were just driving and the kids were in the back seat. Those unconscious moments to where we think the kids aren't really paying attention when they hear the words that we're saying, it's just kind of passing them by. They're probably not thinking too much about it. For one, it brings awareness to the topic. And it makes them more comfortable and more willing to share whenever they're going through similar situations. Even if they're not going through it, if their friends are going through it, if the neighbors are going through it, they're aware that this isn't a foreign topic that mommy and daddy aren't willing to talk about with us. Something else that, let me not even go into that, because me and my husband talk about regular things, whether the kids are awake, sleep, whatever. We're going to talk about it if it's on our mind, but we do talk about our biggest fears in front of the kids, and we allow them to ask questions, and we encourage question asking, because be curious. I'd rather you ask me than ask somebody that's your age that is just as naive and ignorant as you are. And ignorance isn't always a negative thing. Ignorance is simply not knowing. And there's no way that you could know fully about an experience unless you were the one going through it. So whether it is your biggest fear for your kids is drinking and driving, drugs, prison, sex, any of the things that just make you feel like, oh, if this happens, I will be broken. Just your biggest fears for yourself or for your children. Talk about them at an early age. Expose them to those conversations, because that is you showing up when you're uncomfortable. Discipline. Hello, discipline. Purposeful parenting. It's all right here. Talk about them with your kids. Even when you feel like my daughter is sick. She's like, oh, what's that? Oh. She'd be playing Blonde. That's the nicest way for me to say it. But the girl is intelligent. She's mature. I know my son will be the same because we will be chatting. Okay. It will be casual chat. And I want them, more importantly, to feel comfortable coming to us to talk to us about anything. I don't care if you rather talk to me. I don't care if you rather talk to dad. I don't care if it makes me uncomfortable. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Why is that? Because I'm showing some discipline within myself that I hope that you, as my child, can feed off of and let that show up in your own life. Let that show up in your own way of communicating with whomever you choose to communicate with. Certain things are inevitable. Touching the stove when it's hot, falling off your bike, all the way to premarital sex. Okay, we don't have control over everything, but it's okay to talk and have those hard, uncomfortable conversations, because that is what's going to separate your child from the rest. The fact that they can come and talk to their disciplined parent will allow them to be disciplined as a child, to where you could pick up the shoe just a little less, you know? Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of this mini series. We have 2 more episodes forthcoming. Y'all know this is my jam. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.